Sellers are still in the driver's seat, but buyers are riding shotgun. And if you're thinking about selling your home, then it's time for you to take the SAT, not the college entrance exam. This is the Seller's Aptitude Test, a 4-question test that I'm going to administer to see how well you really know what it takes to sell your home in today's market. And no cheating. Are you ready? Hi, I'm Tracy Sorrell, and I help people sell their homes in and around our Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And I think one of the most popular questions I get, the number one question is, hey Tracy, is this a good time to sell my home? Well, that's code for, should I stay or shall I go? This 4-question test is based on the honor system. You will grade your own paper, and by the end of this video, you will feel more empowered to pack up and move to your next place. And you're going to lean in on this. I have some hot off the press, industry changing news that's going to help you keep more money, more of your profit during the sale of your home than you knew you could. You're going to stick with me to the end to see just how savvy you really are when it comes to selling your home. And if you like to be in the know of things that are going on in and around our DFW Metroplex, then go ahead and push that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Now, sharpen your pencil. It's time to begin. First up is a true or false. People sell their homes because they need to move. Tell me if one of these 3 situations sound familiar. Prices are on the rise, mortgage interest rates are too, and there's no inventory. Where would I move even if I wanted to? And in spite of all of those objections, very few people move because they need to. Most people today that I've helped, they move because they want to. So the answer is false. Many, or maybe most people, are moving to relocate to a different, new, and improved lifestyle. Okay, let's talk about those relocation sales. Usually these people are well taken care of. If the company's moving you across country, then really it's not an option. Just pack up and move. You're not passing up that promotion. But if you have a job and you live anywhere in and around DFW Metroplex and your corporation job business is somewhere around the Metroplex, well, now, there's been such a push over the last few years for people to be more remote, hybrid, or the combination of the two. You probably hardly even go into the office because you're there at home. You're only needing to go a couple of days a week, sometimes just a few times a month. So that gives you a lot of flexibility of where you want to move. So now you're not having to move based on a commute. You're moving, selling your home based on a new and improved lifestyle. And that brings me to the next group of people who are coming. They're selling and moving. Of course, we know about transplants and people migrating to Texas, but there are plenty of people right here in Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex who are selling their homes to stay in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, to somewhere a little quieter, a little slower pace, an overall better quality of life. People just want a simpler life. And in fact, many people don't move more than 30 miles from the home they're selling. Now, I know you may be thinking, wait a minute, Tracy, what about people who are downsizing? They kind of need to move, right? Wrong. People who are in the stage of life where they're downsizing, they've got a lot of staying power. They don't have to move. Their home is probably nearly paid off. And some people are selling their homes definitely not because they have to move. They're selling their homes because they just want a different life setup. They don't want the maintenance. So they're turning in their home for a nice swanky condo with a beautiful view. Our next part of our test, vocabulary time. What is the increase in price from when you originally purchased your home to today's value? How would it be priced if you were getting ready to list your home? Is that called equity or appreciation? The answer is B. Appreciation is the increase from when you first bought your home to what it could be priced at today. Now, this brings us to the math section of our SAT. Let's say, for example, you purchase your home for $200,000 and now it's worth $600,000. That's an appreciation of 200%. Now, if you list your home for sale at $600,000, but your loan payoff, what you still owe the mortgage company is $100,000, your equity is $500,000. Now, that sounds like a pretty good payday any day of the week. Did you know over 75% of homeowners live free and clear of a home mortgage or have at least 50% equity in their homes? And if you lived in your home as few as 5 years, your home price has grown nearly 60%. And if you've been there for at least 30 years, you're looking at more than a 306% price growth. That tells me you're not staying in your home and not selling because of a lack of financial resources. You have a lot of purchasing power based on your appreciation and your equity. So now I have a question for you. What's holding you back? And this brings me to number 3. What do you think is the biggest challenge that sellers have that, is preventing them from moving to their next place? Is it home price, inventory, or mortgage rates? All 3 are good answers, but the number 1 reason I hear people who are deciding not to sell their home is the lack of inventory. Good news, sellers just like you are starting to wrap their minds around their next place, their lifestyle, the rest, the relaxation, the simple life, and they're starting to sell those homes. So your options are starting to open. The other great option to consider is new construction. You might actually want to design your own house that suits your lifestyle. Now that I've set the stage and you're warming up to the idea of selling your home and moving to your next place, this brings us to our final section of our test, deductive reasoning. Now, this is the part where I share with sellers the best way to sell their home. Lack of inventory is not your free pass to stick a sign in the yard and just expect the home to just sell. Which brings us to our last question. What is the greatest, most profound reason people's homes don't sell? Price, condition, stiff arm negotiation, all of the above. Rather than me just blurting out the answer, let's go with each component of your answer choices. And let's just start with price. And the number 1 reason why your home may not be selling is because it is overpriced. Every home will sell at the right price, but you have to price it right out the gate. Gone are the days of experimental pricing. You know what I mean? Where you want to just try and see, or you want to inflate your price just a little bit to see if the buyer is going to ask for something off. And, so if you have to reduce, it won't feel so bad. Well, you are risking overpricing your home and your home just not selling at all. Because if your home is not selling, if it's staying on the market, the buyer is rejecting your current price in its current condition. Here's what I'm also seeing. Market is starting to soften a little bit, maybe just leveling off. Maybe there are a few price corrections. Now, don't get me wrong, sellers are still in the driver's seat, but now buyers are riding shotgun. Now, this brings me to our second answer choice, and that is condition. And I like to think of that as under delivering. This is why your home may not sell in a timely manner, because in the current condition, no one wants to buy your home. Think about it. Do you want to buy a home with a lot of work? If you want premium price, you have to offer premium condition. No one has the interest, time, or extra cash to fix up or replace your unfinished or neglected projects. Hire a contractor. Do not attempt to do this alone. Well, that's probably why the do-it-yourself projects are still, projects. And the last answer choice about being stiff-armed with your negotiation, this one is going to be really important. You want to lean in because we had some industry changes that you need to hear and some things that you already know, but you need to be reminded. Negotiation is a big component in today's market. There are so many significant industry changes. National Association of Realtors has made concessions and commissions much more transparent and understandable to you, the seller. You know what? The concept of disclosure is not a new phenomenon. It's always been around. The presentation is what is different. You can keep more of your proceeds from the sale of your home, and there's no way I can unpack all the changes that took NAR more than a year to settle in this video. We can set up a one-on-one time to go over the details of how it does benefit you and your money. Now, things are going to be packaged up a little differently. You're going to give a grand total of concessions. Let's say, for example, you decide I'm going to do, a few $1,000s worth of concessions. Well, that will be broken into closing costs, if you decide to help with closing costs, if you decide to help with buy down, or buyer's agent's commission. There's a lot to talk about, so we'll have to do a one-on-one session so I can break it all down for you. Well, because people are a little skeptical about pulling the trigger and selling their home, much like you, but they are starting to sell their home. But this is the one thing that we really have to wrap our minds around that is very different from the market that we had years ago. More and more buyers may have a home to sell before they're able to purchase yours because, like you don't want to risk putting your house on the market, selling your home, and being homeless. Well, they feel the same way. So be a little loose, be less rigid about not accepting contingent offers, because you will see more of those because everyone wants to play it safe. And there are some safeguards for you if you receive a contingent offer, but we can talk about that later. Okay, let's go back to your answer choices. Price, condition, and your unwillingness to negotiate. When you put all those together, mix it all together, that's a recipe to increase your days on the market. And if your home is so hot, because you're holding out for that better offer because you had it overpriced and you have the condition right and you weren't willing to negotiate, what the buyers are thinking, if you have such a hot property, why is it still in the market? You're making it harder for yourself to sell and harder for your realtor to do the best to get you the most money, the best terms during the sale of your home. So the answer to your question, what is giving the sellers the greatest challenge in selling their home, price, condition, or being inflexible with negotiation? The answer, all the above. Now that concludes our Seller Aptitude Test, our 4-question test to see how well you really know the vibe of today's market and selling your home. So let's grade your papers. If you got 1 out of 3 correct, it's probably a sign that you may be still thinking about how things used to be when selling your home. Things have changed a lot quickly and they continue to change. Now let's take a look at your paper. And if you've scored a 2 out of 4, you've been paying attention to our current real estate market, but maybe not some of the finer points. And if you scored 3 or 4 out of 4, well, then you're a rock star. You are up to speed of what it takes to sell your home in today's market. So my question for you again is, what are you waiting for? Not only are you in the position to sell your home, you're probably able to spread the word between your family, friends, and the people you care about how they should go ahead and just live their lives. Get a simpler life. They have the equity in their homes to do it. So if that sounds like you or someone go ahead and hit the pause button and give me a call. If you're outside of our DFW Metroplex, or maybe you're even out of state, well, I have a network of incredible real estate agents who can help you get the job done. Hi, I'm Tracy Sorrell with the DFW Life. And if you're thinking about selling your home, let's get you back on track, take a deep breath, and get you moved to your next place where you can create your new memories and call home.